Alejandro said it really well to me in the beginning. He said that he didn't want this to be about actors per se or even artists per se. He wanted it to be about something that anybody would relate to, a doctor or a lawyer or a politician or someone in any walk of life. In the sense that I think what he was really interested in was the idea of those moments in life when you feel you've gotten far away from the noble idea that you had of yourself at some earlier place in your life. The cheap way of saying it would just be midlife crisis, and that anybody can relate to midlife crisis. But I actually think Alejandro has such a real soulful view of life and the world that I think he wasn't even being just reductive about midlife crisis. I think he really was taking aim at the fact that everybody at some in their young life has a dream of themselves and how they're going to be, what their life is going to be like, the kind of a noble vision, if you want, and that when people reach moments where they realize their life, has become something else that they feel less proud of, it can be a deeply existentially terrifying kind of moment as you approach a certain age in life where you start thinking about your own mortality, and that confrontation with being less than you had somehow envisioned you would be. What's fun about the story is that the kind of the endeavor that's at the heart of it, putting on a play, everybody involved in it is involved in it for their own reasons that are, like satellites to the story of Riggan. They're all, Naomi Watts' character is a actress approaching middle age who's never ever been on Broadway, and so it's deeply, deeply important to her. It's very intensified for her. The woman Andrea plays is it's mixed up with her love affair with him and her own aspirations as a performer. For my character, it's like, it's sort of, it's his world. It's a place he sort of dominates, but doing it with Riggan tweaks at his insecurities about not being a movie star or having the kind of popular success that Riggan's had. So it's they're like the play in the movie. The play is like a pinball machine, and all of these characters get fired. It's like that moment in the pinball game where they release like 8 balls at the same time. They're like, I see them as like they're all bouncing around inside the pinball machine of this play, and it's hijinks ensue. Michael had massive amounts to absorb and take in and everything, and but there was this moment in rehearsals where Michael started. I could tell suddenly he was just like owning it. It was a huge amount to get his head around, but when he started, suddenly that guy started just appearing, like in these looks and in these ways of delivery. And I started sort of looking at Zach out of the corner of my eye, like there it is, like that's that thing. And it got, to me, it got very exciting after that. I was really knocked out by Michael's performance in this. He did some stuff that. It's just like the movie really hangs on him, and I think it hangs on the tension, that him being able to strike this balance of you really empathizing with this guy even as he makes himself ridiculous, and it completely sinks or swims for me on Riggan, and I just thought, like multiple times in the course of doing the film, I had the distinct sensation of like, man, this guy is laying down a really, really great performance, and I don't always have that on the spot because you can be impressed, but he really did some beautiful, beautiful stuff.